Yo, what's up, guys? I'm with two of the biggest personalities and people within the Dragon Ball Super community. I got the NWO's infamous Scott Dashy up in here. And we got Giancarlo.
Hey, Giancarlo here from Three Swords Production.
And I've just been on edge for this whole Fusion World conversation. And I wanted to get these two gentlemen to talk about the real behind the game. We've been play testing, been having some hands-on contact with it. But I'm gonna step back and just kind of let you guys, Giancarlo, can you talk about just what you're seeing within the community? And after having some hands-on experience, where are you at currently in handling some of the drama, some of the pushback, and even some of the people maybe you've heard in conversation here?
Okay, like, you have to expect like a fair degree of pushback because people don't like change. And even me, when I honestly, bro, I'll be 100% honest. When I first saw the trailer, I went, "Oh no, what is happening?"
You were upset?
I was upset because like I was just like, "Oh, they're canceling our game." But listen, like, it's not a secret that Dragon Ball is struggling, and they literally tried to bring over Dragon Ball to Japan, and the Japanese player base was like, "No, we're not interested in this." So like, it's just like we can't get new American players, we can't get players overseas. Like, what is the solution? So this is Bandai's solution. Like, I was alarmed at first. After playing it, I'm like cool with it. Me and Dashy, bro, we've been playing since set 1. I love set 1. Set 2 is one of my top 5 favorite sets of all time, and it reminds me a lot of that. Except there's no blue Vegeta, so like there's no blue. Yeah, exactly. There's no blue Vegeta like just destroying everybody.
Which is what it was on the beta.
Right. On the beta. Yeah, blue Vegeta was like 2-0. So you know, after playing it, I'm excited. After talking to Bandai, I have to be excited. I don't think what people realize is like you can look at like Fusion World as a replacement for Masters, or you can look at Fusion World as a supplement to Masters. Like, if we have, like, I don't know if we can say it, but like dual regionals, they've already said this. They want to have Fusion World and Masters regionals at the same weekend. So Saturday you play one, Sunday you play the other.
That could be a lot of people in one room.
That's a lot of, that just means that Masters is going to continue. The digital client is only a good thing. Like digital clients are just the future of every game. Whether it's
good promotion.
Right. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, they all have digital clients. Even Dungeons and Dragons has digital versions. Like, there's no future of tabletop without a digital client. So like, the fact that now with Dragon Ball we get one, it's only going to be a good thing. You know? I know you're full of sometimes the controversy. This guy I'm not afraid of the smoke. I literally made my post.
Brought it already off.
I wanted it, but I want you to, man, like, if there's any controversial things that I don't think you're afraid of it either. So when it comes down to like dealing with some of the naysayers, and you got guys who are thinking that the game's dead, y'all can both speak on this, but firmly say to the people what you feel and think in regards to like when people are like the game's dead, it's gonna die, Masters will die. Do you feel that as a true statement, or because I haven't really talked to you about that, but do you feel like that's some truth in that, or do you feel like that's not what's happening?
That's not what's happening. Giancarlo said it very well. He said almost everything, but the thing to remember is that Fusion World isn't existing now because the game is dying. It's existing because the game is complicated. Masters is complicated. I think Giancarlo can agree. Anyone that plays in set 1 can agree the game is so complicated now versus set 1 into meta when it was like almost like One Piece. So I welcome it. I welcome new players. I think it's very, very balanced, even in beta. They're going to make some changes, of course, but I like the idea of dual regionals. Actually, I'm interested in having all Bandai games in one, almost like a
Bandai Con.
Bandai Con.
Yeah, so
Bandai, pay attention.
And hire this man right here. And that guy right there. And that guy right there. No, I welcome it. Gonna give it a chance. And again, this is just beta. We have to wait till we see the actual product. But I'm good with it. I'm not complaining. Anyone that's complaining, I know change is hard to accept, but let's see what happens first. And it's only good for the game because it'll bring players in due to how simple it is.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I think we have to stop with the quick knee-jerk reactions all the time, and marinate for a second and really think big picture. I think that too often that we're we're going and looking at things from a micro level and not a macro level. And understanding like Bandai's not just throwing our game away. They've already said what they're doing. And I think we just got to like lean into being like, okay, I trust, either I can trust some of that. I understand like they feel like communication could have been better. And I agree. I think it could have been. But at the end of the day, if you want Masters to live, it's on you. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Like, how much more dead could Masters get? Like the player base has been shrinking. Like, well, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the reaction is like reasonable. In all honesty, I was worried at first. Like, if you're not here at GenCon, like you're not talking to the Bandai guys, you're not talking to the Play guys, you're not playing the game, you can't even see the cards. Like, if I wasn't here at GenCon, I would feel very different.
You so worried?
I would feel very worried, like very like upset. But the fact that I'm here and I get all this hands-on, like it's easy for me to say from here. So I would have liked maybe a little more. I know Fashbinder did a great job of like going live and answering questions, you know. But like maybe a little bit more. It would have been really cool to have like a demo video like immediately, because like because and like I said, I was worried too, but now that I've actually like gotten hands-on, talked to the representatives, talked to people, I'm like, oh dude, I'm all in on Fusion World already. Like,
yeah, well, I think too, like Fusion World, like take it back to the beta with the online client, right? Like when they gave us that, maybe it's just me, but I felt like everybody I was talking to was like, how are they going to sequence all these like counterplay pieces and do all that? I had people literally telling me they didn't know how it was going to work. So there was already question that they didn't know they could pull it off anyway. So when Bandai flips it and says, we're just going to make a new game because we already see that being an issue, then all of a sudden we're like, oh no, like, and so I'm just like, we already were talking about this, guys. Like, our community was already weirded out by the idea of our current game even getting one. And we all wanted something like Set 1, Set 2 being the digital client starting from there, which is kind of what this game is. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, so from what I played in the demo, it feels the same without being the same. Like, the cards are different, the leaders are a lot more balanced, but of course it's 2 demo decks, so I don't really know what it's going to be like when Set 1 drops, but it feels like Set 1, which, again, I'm okay with because I love Set 1.
Sure.
There are people who are going to miss Z-decks and miss Overrealms and miss all the other crazy shit we've been doing since Set 1. Like, with Set 22, the game's evolved quite a lot, and you know, I think some people will miss that, but I'm just very okay with the game as it is now. You know?
Sure. Well, do you have anything you want to add to that?
He said it all. So
my bad. I didn't mean to.
No.
It's all I have to say is just give the game a chance. I just did. I have been all weekend.
That was your first game just now, right?
Yeah, it was. But I was already familiar with the cards and seeing them. And I had friends that get the demo deck, and I looked through it last night. I'm okay with it, and again, anything that brings in players, I'm good with. And it makes a simple game easier for players to learn, and they can possibly transition to Masters. So I'm cool with that.
I think last thing I'll say is this: if we, as people who've been playing this since Set 1, I think if we want the game to continue in Masters, we have to show Bandai with our pockets. We got to continue going and supporting the game. We can't just sell out because something else is coming. I think we have to just say, hey, they're letting Masters live, so we should continue to invest. Because if we don't, then if we say F Bandai, then Bandai's going to say, well, F the players. And then we're stuck with nothing on that side of things. And that's how it will go. And that's just me. And I want y'all can rebuttal that, but that's just the way that I'm like floating around. And if there is pushback, push back. Because I want to have that dialogue, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I don't know that. That's a tough statement.
I'm just saying, like Bandai's about money.
Sure, yeah.
So meaning, like, that's a business.
I think so. So the way at least I view it, or the way I would say is like, there's like what the players want and what the company wants.
Sure.
And both sides are going to try to get into the middle. And obviously, like sometimes we're here, sometimes we're here, sometimes we're here. Like, it is like you do like the company does have a responsibility to the players. As well as like the players don't have a responsibility, but we spend our money there. Right. So it's like the company does have some responsibility to the players to like not give them what they want, but to give them their support.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a business world, I would have, based off people I know in business, you're only going to get supported based off the support you give.
Sure.
So
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna keep making product if no one's
No,
buying,
obviously,
right?
but yeah.
So like, if Fusion World is buying out,
Yeah.
and we stop just because, well, I'm mad Fusion World's here, so I'm not spending my money. Then what do we expect to happen is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to encourage people to say, hey, like, don't give up on the game.
No, I get what you're saying. I think if we have similar numbers to this year,
right?
Like 2023, we've had
the biggest nationals.
Right, biggest nationals last year. A lot of regionals were selling out.
Yeah.
In-person regionals are around 100 to 200 people. If we keep this player base, Masters could last another 5 years. There's no reason it couldn't. Yeah.
And then if we do it right, which we just talked to one of the Bandai guys a minute ago, there's a potential of like I don't know if we can say it, but Sensei program where we train people coming from one game to the other. If that happens, that's just a good segue to feed into Masters. So I think that's a good thing. So thank you guys for your time, man. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, man.
You got me all wrapped up there. You see that?